The views and opinions expressed by the On the Spot with David Rodgers show are solely based on the show's host, guests, and viewers. We are solely responsible for all show content in its entirety and does not necessarily reflect the opinions of any sponsors in any way. These broadcasts are presented and made public by the On the Spot with David Rodgers team in the hope that it will be entertaining and informative to our viewers and listening audience.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it's 7 o'clock and time for On the Spot with David Rodgers. And now, here he is, Mr. Friday Night, the show pony himself, the man, the dream, the legendary David Rodgers.
Good afternoon and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is David Rodgers, host of On the Spot with David Rodgers, along with co-host. Here he is, ladies and gentlemen. Missed last week, but was able to be here this week. He is the Byron Bagwell, right along with the Dancing Destroyer right there. Our producer and our director, Mr. Dave Holland, and also in the house with his good-looking haircut is our YouTube guru and our weather guru, Mr. Austin Stevens. Welcome to the show and another edition of On the Spot with David Rodgers this Tuesday night, April 18, 2023. And Byron, we just had some birthdays, but we'll talk about that here in a minute and what happened last week. I think everybody had a pretty good time, but we'll discuss that here in a minute. But let's get the show started as we always do with our prayer, our pledge, and our patriotic quote of the night. Ladies and gentlemen, and everybody that's tuning in, please bow your head with me, please. Our righteous Heavenly Father, let us thank you again for a wonderful and glorious day you've given us, dear Lord. Thank you for this time that we can spend with our brotherhood and our sisterhood, the DOR, the defenders of the Republic. That's right, dear Lord, the defenders of the Republic, with this great nation, dear Lord, that is in strife and in shambles to an extent, dear Lord, that you put your hand over us as we give out the information, dear Lord, and the topics that we talk about, and that we see fit for all the people that are viewing our show, that they take this information and do as they feel they need to, dear Lord. Thank you for letting us live in the greatest country in the world today and the most powerful country, dear Lord. I know some people don't think so at times, but we still are, dear Lord. We are still the king of the mountain until somebody wants to try to dethrone us, dear Lord. But with your guiding hand, your comfort, and just keeping a hedge of protection over us, dear Lord, that we can withstand any of those threats, any possible threats that is going to happen or that could happen to this great nation, dear Lord, that it comes from either domestic terrorism or international terrorism, dear Lord. Whatever it may be, that you just keep your hand over us and let us make the right decisions for this great nation. Thank you for our armed forces, each and every one of those young men and women and that serve each and every day, whether it's abroad or whether it's here in the United States, dear Lord. Please keep a hedge of protection over them as they're fighting for our rights, as I just said, and our freedoms, our democracy. Please keep a hedge of protection over them and bring them home safely to their families. Also pray for the ones that have lost loved ones in either wars that's been fought here in today's day, dear Lord, or in past wars. They gave the ultimate sacrifice, dear Lord, and that is their lives. Again, thank you for our first responders, each and every one of those men and women that go out each and every day, each and every night, as they're patrolling our streets, patrolling our neighborhoods, and keeping us safe from the bad people that intend to harm us, dear Lord, and knowing that we can count on them if something happens at our residence or at a business or wherever it may be, dear Lord, that they will be there to help out and to help diffuse the situation. Thank you for the railroad workers, the farmers, the truck drivers, the steel workers, the medical field workers, the hospice workers, everybody that is frontline, dear Lord, and that goes to work each and every day, that you keep a hedge of protection over them. You know why, dear Lord? Because we need them to work. We need to be working. As we work, we thrive, and we make this country great again. And you, with your hand upon us, can make that happen. Any spoken or unspoken prayer requests, dear Lord, and there's many of them out there. Please touch each and every one of them as they are going through whatever it may be, dear Lord. You know what it is. You're the ultimate comforter. You're the ultimate healer. You can make them have a better day, dear Lord. Thank you for the food that we receive each and every day, and it goes to the nourishment of our bodies and our bodies to thy service. Again, thank you for letting us have this show, dear Lord. Thank you for the most beautiful day that you've given us today, dear Lord. And throughout the week, as we continue to go to work and go home to our residence, and whatever we have planned for the weekend, dear Lord, that you keep us safe and knowing that you're number one. We ask for these things in your Son's name, Jesus Christ. And the congregation says,
Amen.
Amen. All right. Let us stand for our pledge. And I'm going to ask the man with the shirt right here, Mr. Byron Bagwell, if he would lead us in our pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Amen. Again, welcome into the show. I'm David Rodgers, the Byron Bagwell, Mr. Dave Holland, Mr. Austin Stevens, all together, and including Mitchell Gunner. We are known as the DOR. The DOR stands for what? You forgot?
No, Defenders of
The Defenders of the Republic. If you don't know what the Defenders of the Republic is,
the High Priest of the
Church of the Faithful Truth. Thank you, Neil
Boards.
Yes, thank you. We are. That's what we are. If you don't know what we're talking about, then you need to...
We're this, too.
Yes. An antidote to chaos. There we go. Right here. Set him up, B.
Sure.
So, anyway, we've got a special patriotic quote of the night, don't we, B?
Yes, we do.
What do we have, B?
Well, when you want to help people, you tell them the truth. When you want to help yourself, you tell them what they want to hear.
Oh, wow, that's a good one. Is that a founding father?
No.
Oh, it isn't.
I'm going to try that.
You're going to try that? Well,
It sounds an awful mighty lot like
all right.
politicians,
Is it
doesn't it?
well, it does. But it's...
And I can guarantee you this gentleman was talking about politicians when he said this.
Okay.
I'll give you another hint.
Okay.
He is a professor, and that's as far as I'm going to go.
All right. Mark Levin, and I'm going to take that stab. Dave?
Well, I got to say, since I have no idea, I'm going to go with Mark
Levin?
Levin.
Oh,
Okay.
those are great guesses.
All right. How about it, Austin? You going to go with us?
David, it's on you, because if I'm wrong, it's going
Well, I know I'm wrong already because he said those were great guesses, so I already know I'm wrong.
Gentleman's
I
a
guess
little bit
I'll
older than Mark Levin.
Okay.
He's been a professor for a long, long time, and he surprises every single body when they figure out who he is.
And the answer is?
Thomas Sewell.
Sewell. Ah, there you go.
Thomas Sewell.
Thomas Sewell. Thomas Sewell. Didn't I use him too? Goodness gracious, you got us. Yeah, give us another one, man. I went 0 for 1 there.
Yeah. A second.
Yeah.
All right.
Off that.
Wait. Oh, no, we don't want to use the Pabst Blue Ribbon.
All right. Well,
We'll leave the Pabst Blue Ribbon quote alone.
all right. I'll tell you what. Oh, you got it already? Okay, go ahead.
We can forgive a child who is afraid of the dark. The real tragedy in life is when men are afraid of the light.
Another good one.
Much, much older than any founding father. If I tell you who he was associated with,
I'm going to go, hang on a minute. I'm going to go with Socrates.
Oh, you were right there.
I'm going with Socrates.
What's that other guy?
Plato?
Plato.
Or Aristotle?
Aristotle.
You going with Aristotle?
Yes.
Yes, one of us is going to be right. Let's see if Byron's
going
like
with Plato.
He's going with Plato. Okay, so we
You're
all.
going to go with Plato?
You going with Plato, Austin?
Yes.
Yes, go. Yes. Congratulations, Austin.
Congratulations, Austin. The answer is Plato.
All right. We was right there, though. That wasn't bad. That's pretty good. Yeah, we were right there. We were right there. That's good
I
stuff,
should have
man.
gave him Socrates.
We should have gave him Socrates. Oh, whoa.
Couldn't do that one, could I?
No.
It would have been funny, but I think YouTube would have had a fit.
Oh,
Facebook.
Facebook definitely would have had a fit. Again, welcome into the show. We got a great show planned up for you tonight. We got a lot of things to talk about, like the continuation of the topic that I talked about last week. I'm going to get Byron's opinion on it. He chimed in last week when he wasn't here. I appreciate you, Dave, chiming in with me on those topics. We're also going to talk a little bit of Ron DeSantis, right? He's declared that he's going to run. So, yes, he has. So we'll talk about that a little bit and whatever Byron has on his plate. But I want to go over a few things first. I'd like to go over community activities, and one of them, of course, is our high school. I get this letter every week, and I read it on 7:40 in the mornings on Mondays, and it just talks about what's going on at Bradford High School. So I'm going to get into that just a little bit. I hope you took the ACT, guys. You'll have to wait, is it 3 months, B? I think it's 3 months before they redo it again.
Wow.
So I hope they took it on Saturday. I know it was prom. All these kids were excited about prom.
Yeah.
But I hope you wasn't too excited not to take your ACT test.
Wait.
Prom was this Saturday.
I took mine in 1991. Does that still mean I'm that late?
Well, you got a
Oh,
degree,
geez.
right? You got a degree, yeah. So you're good. He has a degree. I took mine in 1978, and I don't have a degree. So is mine still good?
Actually, there was a such thing as the ACT
right.
back then, but you had a choice. You could either take the SAT
or
the ACT,
CT.
and I took the SAT.
Yeah.
So,
Yep. All right. Prom was last weekend. Dave, I know your lovely granddaughter went. How did she say it was?
It was great. They got a video on Facebook of the prom and everybody dancing.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Really
I don't know
great.
who was king or queen. I don't know.
I don't either.
I don't either, but you can look at that there.
They had one.
Yeah. The Little Women's Club meeting on Wednesday at 3:30 in room 411. Dave Holland will be a special guest for that, as he will be teaching the Little Women's Club a thing or two there. You knitting, sewing, you got a couple of things that you're going to go over?
Sewing and knitting.
And knitting, okay. Boy, they're in trouble now. Yearbook Class Club applications for next year are due on Wednesday. Student government elections are this Friday and will be done through Google Forms, so if you want to be an officer, make sure you do that. The final FCA luncheon of the year, Byron, will be this Friday during both lunches. So FCA, got to have that, right?
Yeah.
A free sports clinic is being put on by Santa Fe college men and women's basketball and volleyball teams this Saturday. Don't miss this opportunity, ladies and gentlemen. If you're looking for something for your 5th grader through 12th grader to do, all students are welcome. Pizza will be provided, and the deadline to sign up is tomorrow. So you better get signed up if you want to go to these events. Byron, it should be pretty good teachings over there because both of those teams are pretty decent, and you'll get some good teaching there. They've sold, Byron, a record amount of yearbooks. They only have a few remaining. Purchase yours ASAP. You can purchase one by going to yearbookordercenter.com and entering the school code 14547. That's 14547. David and Byron, you remember the nameplates they put on there? Your nameplates that they put on the yearbook? I don't know.
No,
Yeah.
we didn't have nameplates.
Okay.
They actually printed our
They
name.
printed it, okay.
Yeah, they printed ours.
Well, they have nameplates now. They have to be ordered online separately. So make sure you take care of that. Tutoring continues this week. It will be in the library from 3:45 to 4:45 on Tuesdays and Thursdays. All you have to do, David, is show up and be ready to work. Austin Stevens will be one of the tutors there on Thursday.
Really?
He's going to be teaching weather graphics.
Okay.
So nice there, huh? You didn't even know that, did you, Austin? Fellowship of Christian Athletes meet on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 8 a.m. Please come for free food and fellowship. All students are welcome.
We need to have a conversation.
Oh, well,
Jack
boy,
Records
you
and
ain't kidding. Golly.
Because Crazy Train needs to be the theme song for the show.
Yes, it sure does. Algebra 1, Algebra 2, and Geometry students can access their math books by going to ClassLink and clicking on Algebra Nation. Byron, you were pretty good at Algebra 1, Algebra 2, and Geometry, wasn't you?
No.
No. Okay. Well, forget you tutoring that.
No, I'm not. No, they don't want me as a math tutor.
No, you definitely ain't tutoring anything.
I understand it, but you still don't want me as a math tutor. Huh?
If a student is absent or just needs a review, there are teacher videos that teach each lesson. When a student is absent, their makeup work is to be done on the missed lesson online. That's the only way you can do it. The curriculum moves at a fast pace, and it's important that students do not fall behind. If you fall behind, you might as well drop the thing and figure out how you're going to get your grade, because it keeps going. I've heard some people say it may have been a little too fast. So, reminders, Byron.
Lessons in life.
That's it. Absolutely no food or drinks other than water allowed in classrooms. Bring a large water bottle to school. No outside food deliveries. Multiple parking violations may result in a citation of your vehicle being towed. Make sure to properly display your parking pass on your rearview mirror.
And they have orders to bring them to my house.
That's boy, David, can you fire up that song Crazy Train?
Crazy.
Students should be checking and reading their school emails on a daily basis for important information that is being sent out. And the other thing that should be added to that is, I know a lot of students, Byron, they bring that Chromebook home, they do their homework or whatever it is, then they shut it down. But what's happening is there's always notes for the parents that the parents don't know about. And then when the kid comes and says, hey, so-and-so and so-and-so, this is what I've got to do, and they sent it out 2 weeks ago, and the student never showed the parent. Bad juju. Yeah, and then the parent goes to the school, Byron, and they start complaining. And the first thing that the lady at the front desk or Shelly Rogers or any of them say is, did you read your Chromebook?
Absolutely not. That is the student's responsibility.
Yeah.
You're old enough to tell your parents you have things coming, or you're old enough to show them your Chromebook so they'll know.
Right. That's right.
It's your responsibility, not the school's.
Right.
Not your parents to tell you.
That's right.
Especially if you're in high school and middle school, because you're old enough to know.
All athletic event tickets will be purchased through GoFan at the following link, gofan.co. There will not be cash ticket sales at any athletic events outside of football. Chase and Clark competed at the state championship boys weightlifting meet this Saturday in Lakeland. Have you seen anything on the results of that? I have not gotten any results. If you know the results, if you can go ahead and text us here or message us, Byron or myself, we'll call it out. But Jason Clark is a junior. He's going to be back. He's a 4-star. And so is Torrin Brazil.
Wow.
Torrin Brazil is known as the
one-man wrecking crew.
And Jason Clark, we gave him the name of.
Well, we split that.
We did sort of, yeah. The Dominator.
Mr. Bad Intentions.
And Mr. Bad Intentions. So Mr. Bad Intentions or the Dominator is what we're going to call Clark.
I had a hard time deciding which one I wanted to give that to, him or Pollard. It's just
give them to both.
Yep.
Baseball played at home last night. On Monday, they lost to Union County. They're 7-12. They got a game Thursday at home, and then Hamilton County on Friday as they wrap up the week, Byron, and try to get themselves a higher seed in that district playoff. The higher seed you get, the better chance you got to winning that thing and moving on to regionals.
11th place. Melissa Cribbs said from what she saw it was 11th place.
11. That's not bad.
No, not at all.
In the state? Oh, sheesh, that ain't bad. Congratulations, brother.
There's only 10 people that
yes, that outlived him. Yes.
Yeah, outlifted him in his weight class. That's really good.
Yes, it is. Softball played at home last night. I think they won. They play at home on Thursday, and at Buchholz on Friday. They'll be clearing their week up, and they're looking for a district title as well and to move on to regionals. So let's keep an eye on those things.
I was sitting over at my buddy's house just listening, and they were screaming and yelling. And
really? At the softball game?
At the softball game.
Wow.
I mean,
it's intense really over there.
Made me want to go watch it.
Yes, it does, doesn't it? Yeah. I can't Thursday because I'll tell you what I got going there. Track travels to their district meet tomorrow at Tacoya Creek. I hope y'all do well, get some guys qualified so you can move on to regionals, and then, of course, to a state, a state run as well. This is what I'm excited about. Flag football, girls flag football. They're going to host the district tournament tomorrow and Thursday. They're the number 1 seed. They're the number 17 team in the whole state. They barely give up any points. They score a lot of points. Girls gets lots of yardage. Do you know who their coach is, B?
Yeah, it's, you had to ask me that, and I just completely lost one.
John Staples.
John Staples. Yeah.
John Staples. He knows a thing or two about football because his football team, boys football team, along with Rodgers, we know what they did.
And they're playing tomorrow night?
They're playing tomorrow night.
Where
so,
at?
Here at home, at the football field.
Oh,
we should go watch it. It doesn't say the time. I think 6. It may be going throughout the afternoon. We'll check that out. Let's see if somebody will give us a time on that. All right, and that's all I got for this week on that. Several things going on. Want to get to that I've seen in the Bradford County Telegraph. TJ Maxx and Wawa is amongst new projects coming to Stark. That is according to Stark City Hall, that has shared that TJ Maxx will join Five Below as the latest addition to the Bradford Square Shopping Center. So TJ Maxx and Five Below, where? At the Bradford Square Shopping Center. Dave, do you know where that's at? You want to tell our lovely people where that's at?
Yeah, if you go behind Burger King, you're there.
You're there. All right. The Wawa gas station and convenience store, previously thought to be coming to Stark, could now be locating where? To the Bradford Square at the northwest corner of US 301 and Edwards Road. That little place, if that happens, is going to be hopping.
That's right there where that the kids' school and,
yes.
The blue sign place is, that corner right there.
Right there. That's exactly right. So that's where the Wawa is looking like it's coming. So plans are in works on all that. I think they've got the finals go ahead. That's according to Jim Crosby and others there that works at City Hall. And congratulations to that. So other things that they're looking at, Dave, for beautiful Stark, Florida, a small chain restaurant, fast food restaurant, car washes, a grocery store, and an RV-style resort have all expressed interest in coming to Stark. And there have been additional inquiries about available retail space. So that is great that people are inquiring. Remember, we used to have to go out there and try to find those things, which we still are. Yeah. But now people are inquiring about Stark.
Yeah, and the thing that I've heard about the grocery store is a real good thing for Stark.
Yes.
Because from my understanding, Publix into Stark. Yes.
Yeah, Publix is, and that's exactly right. He didn't get into the names of those things, but we sort of know. The small chain retail,
Zaxby's too.
Zaxby's is the other one. The RV style resort, y'all know what that is. The car wash is, have y'all ever been to Lake City or have y'all ever been to a Goo Goo car wash? Mm-hmm. That's what they're wanting to open up here. And there's somebody that's already investing and is interested in that, and I think is in work and soon to be. That'll be here too, so it'll be like a Goo Goo car wash. Guess what? That's going to employ people, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's going to employ men, women, young people during the summer. I assure you, the traffic that comes down 301, they'll get their car washed. You'll stop by there and get your car washed. I know I will.
And that's going to be located over there next to Mosley.
Mosley, that's exactly right. Right outside the city limits into the county just a little bit. Yep. But you're exactly right. Tallahassee is impressed of what we're doing here, and they're helping financially in any way they can. So congratulations. Starting to build a little momentum here. Redistricting has been going on and moves to a vote. They're going to redistrict school districts, and that has been on the school board agenda for 2 or 3 weeks now. It's coming down to a final vote within all the committees. If that happens, you'll see it on here. I won't even start to break that down for you, but you'll see the 5 districts that's going to take place. And if you look at it in area, The Brooker area on back through here is the largest area of it all because it's more rural. It takes up a lot more land and less population. Lottie is not too bad because, of course, when you get into Lottie, you're going to the Highlands, remember, and out that way, which is still part of the north side of Bradford County. To the west there, you got District 1. As you're coming back into Stark, it's the back, not would that be east side of Lottie and Bradford County, and then 3 would be in town. 16, your areas right there in town. So
the 4th one is actually Hampton.
And Hampton, I'm sorry, I forgot Hampton. And Theresa, yes.
Those areas out there.
Yeah, and heading back toward Waldo and to the Alachua line. So just right before Keystone. See it here, Byron? Just a little before Keystone. So, and you look, just a little before Waldo right there. So get a paper, take a look at that. See if you're in favor of it. I know a lot of people said they wasn't in favor of it, but this looks like this is going to happen if it passes through a vote. So I want to update you on, you remember, I don't know if we said it, Dave, but I remember somebody saying it about the runaways from Union County, the 2 girls that ran away. Right. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Well, 2 teenage girls drove to Alabama, are back with their families, a Union County sheriff officer said. At press time, Chief Deputy Lynn Williams said his agency investigators plan to interview the 2 on Wednesday, April 12th, which is tomorrow. But according to what I know, they took somebody's car, drove to Alabama, was found in near my hometown. They went across the I-10 corridor, and they actually were found in Bayou La Battery, Alabama. If you know anything about Bayou La Battery, it's a big shrimping area. And that's where part of Forrest Gump was made, if you remember. He was all about the shrimp. So Bayou La Battery is about 24 miles from Pascagoula, where I lived. So, and as a matter of fact, it's about halfway between Mobile, Alabama, and Pascagoula, Mississippi. It says right here in the paper. So good find by them. It's got it missing child alert, and it's found safe. So I'm sure there's some parents that are glad that this overwhelmed that this happened. So. I don't know what happened here. I hope everything was okay. You just don't run away for a reason unless something else is going on, but I hope everything works out there. Food distribution, they had one today, Byron. A community-wide food distribution hosted by Feeding Northeast Florida and True Vine Ministries took place today at 8:30. So food boxes that often included fresh produce, deli and bakery items, dairy, and some meats were handed out today. So, Byron, there's hunger going on everywhere. It doesn't matter what part of the country, what part of any of the states you live in, there's always people that are hungry. It's hard for me to fathom that. I know Byron has talked about it many times. It's hard for me to fathom that there is hunger in this great United States with as much food as we produce. Why is there always hungry people? Now,
I was looking at you like that for another reason. I really shouldn't make jokes out of that.
Oh, okay. But anyway, that's all right. No.
I really shouldn't. He was talking about being hungry, and we're both always hungry.
Oh, yeah, we're both. There's no doubt about that. So, anyway.
But seriously, you want to take care of people who can't.
Right.
And there are a lot of kids out there who don't eat because their parents can't afford for them to eat. So it's a really good thing to take care of the children, and that's something that,
me and you, Byron, have mentioned this before. Where do some of these kids get their best meal at? Your mama's even said it. Yes. School. And that is the best meal that some of these young children have, and that is very sad.
Honestly, this is the honest truth. When a child has a full stomach, they can concentrate better.
Absolutely.
Okay, and I'm not talking about overeating and them falling asleep and doing all the things kids do right after they eat. But when they have food in their stomach, there's actually been studies done that shows that they are actually better at school than when they don't have food.
Right, I agree. All right, Promised Land Family Ministries annual Faith and Family AG Festival will take place Saturday, April the 22nd, along with those things that are going on with Santa Fe. The festival is designed for kindergarten through 12th grade kids and their families. Registration and check-in begins at 9 a.m., David. The day will include free games and activities, educational stations, lunch, and prizes. Pre-registration is encouraged at promisedlandfm.org. On-site registration is subject to availability. Interested in volunteering or sponsorship opportunities? Just contact Rebecca Hall at rhall@promisedlandfm.org. Couple of other things I want to go over real quick, Byron, before we move on. There's a gun show this week, April 22nd, 23rd at the Stark Armory, 720 Edwards Road in Stark, Florida. Showtime, Saturday 9 a.m. to 4 p.m., Sunday 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Admission fee is $8. Listen to this. Concealed weapons classes are available. There you go. Gun show.
You get a concealed weapons license now. You got the best of both worlds. You can put it on your belt, or you can put it in your hip
pocket. That's right.
Now, Florida is a open carry state now.
It is.
And
remember, we talked about that. Now, Austin, me and Austin went back and forth on this a little bit, and Austin thought that it could be concealed.
No.
I didn't think so either, Austin, and I wanted to make sure that you understood that. Concealed, that means you can hide it, and you have to have the permit.
You have to have a concealed weapons license to conceal a weapon.
That is correct.
Any state that's open carry, and it's any of them,
right?
You can put it on your hip and walk around with it. Nobody's going to say a single word for you. Or you actually put it over your shoulder and walk around.
You don't need
Austin, was that what you were understanding, or that was not what you were understanding?
But if you
all the articles that I've dug up were saying that it was you don't need a permit for concealed carry.
Really?
Yeah.
That's what he told me. That's something that we'll have to research, David. Maybe you can research. I need to look to
the law itself. Is what we need to look at.
Based off of what was said, was he did the concealed carry based off the articles I've dug. I can dig into the law if I really wanted to. I've just been really busy.
Oh yeah.
But he was looking into and still is looking into open carry. But a sheriff's in South Florida.
So you may not see this. If he is correct in what he's saying, and we'll double check all that, then you won't have to have a concealed weapons class. Just go buy the weapon, boom, you can hide it.
As of the articles I've looked at, I haven't looked in the law, but as of based off of articles and what I say.
Articles from the media?
Yeah.
Okay.
But
all right.
And based on what I've sent to David through, conversations, hit or miss, as of July 1st, you don't have to have the permit.
All right, we're going to look that up.
I would still highly recommend
absolutely
you go take a concealed
absolutely
class.
Especially if you ain't never fired one, Byron. Especially if you haven't had any kind of weapon, shot a weapon or fired a weapon. I'd urge you to get this before you start carrying anything.
Even if you've been around a weapon all of your life and you've never actually concealed carried a weapon, there are some things you need to know that those classes will teach you.
Yeah. All right, Bayless Highway Baptist Church invites you to join them for their homecoming, April 23rd at 10 a.m. Special music by Avenue, 3 people, 1 mission. Christian music artist Avenue is up-and-coming music group with established members within their genre. The message will be brought to you by Avenue's own Casey Kemp, and Byron Bagwell will also be there to give his testimony as well. So hope to see you there. That's at 11798 Northwest County Road, 225 Bayless Highway, homecoming.
And pass the ammunition.
Pass the ammunition. April is Youth Month at Greater Bethlehem Free Will Baptist Church with 11 a.m. Sunday services featuring Hayden Knights on April 16th and Elder Malcolm Dixon on April 23rd. Friday programs at 7:30 p.m. will feature ministers Gwen Williams on April 14th, which has just happened, and Chantel Campbell on April 21st. Come out and support your future youth leaders. There's other things going on. Next Sheriff's Net is set. Scholarship available for medical study. Women's Club offering scholarship. Scholarships Board offers help with flood maps. Yoga and more in Melrose. Look at your Bradford County Telegraph, one of our partners here on the show, Bradford County Telegraph, John Ryan Tillman, Cliff Smiley. Who am I leaving out? Williams.
You're asking,
Mark,
you're asking the wrong person.
And of course, John Miller himself.
John Miller himself, yeah.
The main man himself. So make sure that you pick one of those up, and you'll get a lot of information. Dave, what you have?
On Monday, April 3rd, 2023, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis signed House Bill 543 into law.
House Bill 543 into law. David, can you tell us what that bill is?
This bill strengthens the Second Amendment, eliminating the requirement that an individual obtain a permit to carry a concealed firearm in Florida.
So,
eliminates.
Okay, now.
Eliminates meaning you don't have to have a concealed license.
So
but you can carry concealed, right?
Not required.
Not required. Okay.
Now,
okay.
My question is that allowing us to open carry or not? That we need to
see. That is what I'm thinking as well.
We need to make sure that we're telling people the right thing about that, because you don't want to walk outside your house with a gun and a holster on your hip.
Yep.
And go to that Jiffy store and get shot.
Yeah, I was just going to say, or shot. You're right. The last thing I wanted to talk about that's going on locally, besides those two things that I gave to you earlier, is the Start Splash Bash. That is Tuesday, July the 4th. They were trying to hold it on July the 3rd, but it's being held on July the 4th. Michael Heater, who was on our show with us and has had taken a hiatus because he's got some things to do, and one of them was this big project that he's always under the gun with. Tuesday, July 4th, Splash Bash at David Hurst Stadium. There's going to be all kinds of things going on. There's still things that we need to solidify, but there's going to be, starting at 9 o'clock on July the 4th, Tuesday, there's going to be a softball game, Byron, between the Bradford, like Guns and Hoses softball tournament, or softball game. They're going to play a regular 7-inning game. The winner of that, of course, will get to hoist the trophy. And if you, on the 50-50 tickets for that, if you put it in the Guns and Hoses and they win, and they'll pull your ticket for that 50-50. So whoever wins, and you put it in the winner, you'll have a great chance on winning whatever that 50-50 is. We'll be doing opening ceremonies there with the national anthem, praying, and of course watching a softball game. Then we're going to come back over to David Hurst Stadium and surrounding areas, as there are going to be different things going on. We're going to have the stage in that area. We've got 7 acts, I believe. It's 7 acts right now. We still have to solidify that particular thing there, as we need to get those guys set up and ready. We're still trying to get the stage, Byron. The stage, we've got 2 stages that is available to us. Michael Heater is working on trying to solidify the last of that. Also, we're going to have the fun water stuff. There's going to be vendors out there galore. We're going to have a parade that's going to circle around from 16 going across. We still got to solidify that a little bit, but we'll have maps and things out for you there. There's going to be bicycles, band floats, trucks, and then, of course, Byron, once that is done, then we'll have the car show. That'll be going on. Mitchell Gunner will be hosting that, and all those beautiful cars that come out there, so make sure you come out there and check those out. And then, of course, the golf cart parade and all that is going to be happening as well. The cornhole tournament, I know you couldn't do it because you wasn't sure what was going on. The cornhole tournament's still going. 30 teams, max, single elimination. The winner right now is going to pull $300. The loser is going to pull $150. 2-man teams, boom, boom. So, and then, of course, we're going to have from about 3 till about 8 or 9, we're going to have live acts on the stage. We've got that pretty much set. And again, we'll have battle sports. Oh, I forgot about battle sports, Byron. Arena right here by the stage. We're going to have battle sports. Kids are going to have fun with that. On the back side there is where we'll do our fireworks. And then on the back side of where the track shack is, that's where the car staging will be. And then you'll still have a touch-a-truck event around the tennis courts, and that's where the cornhole tournament's going to be. Now, there has been a little bit of an addition to what we said before. Last year, it only cost you $1 to get in, right? Well, thinking of what's going on, budget, those kind of things, we decided to raise the price a little bit, and I think we should. If you buy your tickets beforehand, pre-sale tickets, it's $3 a person. If you buy them the day of the event, it's still $5. Where are you going for $5? Anywhere, Byron, you tell me, man. $5 for an event like this. You can get wet. You can go listen to music. You can eat. You can go to the, Battle Sports Arena. Go and watch the cornhole tournament. You've got the car show. Where are you going anywhere on God's green earth for $5? And you know what else, Byron, they're doing? And David, they're doing? You know what he's doing? He's got buses, like from churches and things like that, that's going to shuttle you. So if you have to park over by Duval Chevrolet, you can ride in on a bus. It'll run every 10 minutes. Yep. $3 pre-sale tickets, $5. Man, you can't beat a stick. You can't beat that with a stick. And I understand there's people here that sounds like they may not be able to afford that. But you've got plenty of time. You've got, 3 months away? 2 months away, 3 months away? Hey, start saving your money so you can go out there and have a good time. For $5
a week.
$1 a week, put it back. If you have 4 people in your family, put $2 a week back. Just anything, and you'll have it. And man, you come over there, and man, you will
have a good time.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
You can probably find it on the ground.
Probably.
By then.
Yeah, and that's exactly right. I've seen a comment real quick from Miss Shirley. She says, it's repeating over and over. I don't know what that means, Byron. Is she saying that it's coming back to the same thing we just spoke about?
I'm guessing.
Shirley, what can you give us a little bit more on that? So I could have David take a look. David, you don't have any issues right there right now on anything, right? Everything seems to be going okay?
Everything seems to be going fine.
Okay. She says
it's delayed a little bit on mine, but I mean,
yeah, it's delayed a tad, but she's saying it's repeating, so maybe she'll explain to us what's going on. Splash Bash, interested? We'll have things on Facebook. It'll be on the radio. It's going to be on billboards. It's going to be everywhere. So you'll be able to have a point of contact. And as soon as I get more point of contacts, I'll give you that. David, what'd you find out?
First, understand that Florida does not allow for open carry of any handgun.
Okay.
Yeah. If you display a handgun in a situation that cannot be legally justified as self-defense, you could be subject to criminal charges.
Ooh.
Therefore, firearms cannot be open carry.
You can,
so what?
There's an addendum to that.
Okay.
If you are going hunting or fishing, you can open carry a firearm to and from hunting or fishing.
Yes. Yes.
That's the only addendum to that. I would not suggest you do that unless you're coming back from hunting.
Yeah.
But I mean, you know, I do that every year because I keep my rifles and my shotgun in the cab of the truck, and that's considered open. That's considered open.
Right.
And going to and from hunting, they stop you and they see that, they're not going to say anything to you at all.
No.
But you better be doing that.
Agreed. All right. That's all I have for local news, Byron. Unless you have something, I'm going to go on and welcome all our people in. We've got some stuff scrolling on the lower thirds. More mass shootings is getting out of hand. The Gun Violence Archive, Dave, is pulling that across the lower thirds right now for your viewing and your use. But Byron, we're not even going to get into that tonight. But these gun shootings, these mass gun shootings, are getting way out of hand. Remember, I told you there was one every 13 days. Seems like there's one every 4 days now. It's something, always something, reporting from somewhere in these United States with it.
Have you ever noticed that when we get closer to elections, this happens more and more and more?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Dwight Allen, good evening, fellow patriot, my man. Linda Jacobs, good afternoon. Tom Bailey from Alabama. He's from here, but he lives in Alabama. Olivia Hill, she's in Maryland. How about that? Hey, we'll take Maryland. Bowie, Maryland. She's in. Hello, Olivia. Welcome in. Shirley Bagwell, Byron's beautiful mother. She's watching. And, boy, just real quick. David, I'm sorry, man. I should have called you, but I know it wasn't a great day on Thursday. But Byron finally came and played trivia after months. Let's call it that, yeah. That he couldn't get there because of work, and his schedule just happened to play out on time. He came and played trivia with Shirley and Donnie and Shelley and Autumn, and they did really well. But the best thing about it is we had a birthday cake.
Yeah.
And
I missed that one.
It was a chocolate cake and strawberry, right? Chocolate strawberry, wasn't it?
That's what I heard.
Yeah.
Hey, and people stayed, Byron, with us. The trivia team stayed, and they even thanked me for giving them a piece. There was a couple of people that hit me on Facebook. So, you know what I mean? So that right there is a good, yes. So Dwight Allen said, amen, Brother David. Thank you. Prayers for my sister requested too. Absolutely, Shirley. I hope I included that in the unspoken and spoken prayer request, that your sister gets God's healing touch on her and make her better. Brody Gunner's watching. We're trying to get him on again as well. Hey, Brody, exactly. I know Mitchell wants to get him on, but he wants to come on with us too. Sure. So Roger Cruz is watching. Olivia Hill said amen. Glad to see you, Brother Byron and Austin. Shirley said Aristotle. Shirley said, I misspelled that. Byron says, thanks, brother. I'm glad to be back. Richard Monroe is watching. Melissa Cribbs is watching. Olivia Hill says, wow, interesting. Yeah, it is an interesting show. We talked a little bit about everything. Hit a lot of local stuff right here for our local people that can't get out. And come out and maybe they, whatever. This is what we try to bring them, their news as well. Byron says, as always, Mom, Dakota got his driver's license today, David. Well, Melissa Cripps, you just tell me what side of the road that young man's going to be on. I'm going the opposite direction. Nah, he's a good kid. I'm sure congratulations, son, on that. Dwight Allen with the O's there. Melissa Cribb, he got 11th place, is what we saw, which Byron said. Zaxby's too, I hear. Absolutely, Dwight. Can't wait for the TJ Maxx, Shirley says. I bet she can't. I know her and Autumn and you, whoever. Y'all are all going.
I'm sorry, Dad.
Yeah, sorry, Donnie.
She didn't have to go to Gainesville.
No. Everything's going to be here. Jimmy Sparks is watching. Jimmy from Lake City. Good afternoon, brother Jimmy. How are you? Publix would be nice. May's coming around the corner. Roy Jackson's on. We need a good car wash. Absolutely, Dwight says. My Jacksonville co-workers pay a monthly fee and wash their trucks every day. David, I like your outfit. It's perfect. It's got to be the color of the shirt because I can't do anything else for anything. So, this ugly face just ain't cutting it. It's repeating over and over, Shirley says. Not sure. Maybe she's going to. Austin Stevens is what?
Yeah, I was checking.
Yeah, I bet you were. Hey, Shirley Bagwell says it's good again. Nope, she says it's repeating over and over again. Janet Roll's watching. Jerry Daskowski Sr.'s watching. Wanda Norman's watching. Hello, enjoying the show. Thank you. And just stay off the sidewalks, Melissa Cribb says. Lots of laughs. I got you. I get it. Real quick, also, before we get into some national stuff, I know we're starting to get into time. It's reaching the 8 o'clock hour. Want to welcome all of you to On the Spot with David Rodgers. I am your host and creator, David Rodgers. Right along, host Byron, the Byron Bagwell, with our national politics and news. Whether it's government, whether it's world, Byron knows it. He reads these type of books right here. Anybody that reads those type of books knows what's going on. Mr. Austin Stevens, our guru, hey, YouTube guru.
Especially not when it came to the new gun law. I didn't know.
Yeah. Hey, thank you for that. He made us aware of that. Thank you,
really
Austin.
Appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Hey, I didn't know till 18 days after it, so.
Well, at least you cleared it up for us a little bit here.
My
and
life
with the
stays so
research.
crazy
Me
anymore.
too.
I used to stay on top of stuff like that. I can't.
Yeah, I can't either. You're exactly right.
Hey,
So,
it's the chaos.
anyway, our weather guru as well, our producer and director, Dave Holland. He's here with us, the Dancing Destroyer. What do you have, David, for us?
No.
We okay?
Yeah, we'll go to commercial here in a minute.
All right, let's go to a commercial break, and then let's hit Austin with the weather. Ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere. We have a lot more right after these commercial breaks.
Hey Tornado fans, this is Kurt Miracle of Miracle Automotive and Towing, proud sponsors of Tornado Football. I want to welcome you to beautiful Stark, Florida at David Hurst Stadium, and thank you for letting us be a part of this community. We're here for more than your automotive and towing needs. We're here to be part of Tornado Country. Go Big Red!
All right, here we are back with On the Spot with David Rodgers. It is 7:58 Eastern Time, so wherever you're tuning in, let's say you're tuning in from the state of California. You're 3 hours back, so you'll be at 4:59. You notice how I said that? Very lightly. Anyway,
Well,
yeah. Or if you're in Pasco, Mississippi, it's 6:59.
If you're somewhere out of the zones.
The zones.
In California.
Yeah, there you go.
You might be listening.
There you go. I know somebody that listens from Baja, California.
Yeah, I can believe that.
Yeah, how about that, huh?
I can believe that.
Hey, I've had a hit day from Ensenada, Mexico.
Wow.
That's That's Mexico.
Baja.
Baja, down in that area, yeah. Sure.
Sammy Hagar's watching?
Sammy Hagar's watching.
Oh, no, that's Cabo. I'm sorry. It's Cabo, not Baja.
Cabo.
I'm sorry.
Get out of here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get to our weather. That's what you want to hear about. Let's welcome him in. He is Dave Holland's ex-son-in-law.
No.
Oh, no, he's not old enough. He is the weather guru, Austin Stevens. Come on in, baby boy.
What's up here? What's up, everyone? We had a humidity value as low as 9%. I hear David tries to catch some grass on fire. He needs to stop doing that. I've never seen it this dry in a while. So we had 9% humidity values.
Find Austin's
all
weather
their
service on
sensors were
Facebook.
reading across the region between 20 and 10%. Bradford County Weather Instruments equipment in the county was reading 21%. But the nice weather will continue through this evening. Enjoy it while we have the low humidity. Tomorrow, temperatures will skyrocket from the upper 40s, David, all the way to the mid 80s.
Did it, Austin, real quick, did it do that today too as well?
It went. We were close. It went.
Okay.
It went from
44?
40. Some areas were as low as the upper 30s.
Okay.
Out in the Swanee River Valley,
Okay.
skyrocketed to 80 with dew points as low as 12, 10
Wow.
degrees.
Wow.
And then on top of that, the humidity will build back tomorrow through the rest of the week with temperatures averaging out in the mid 80s. They will peak into the upper 80s this weekend with a 40% chance of showers and thunderstorms with a passing cold front. Oh, but the cool weather's back. Come Sunday for my birthday, mid 70s for highs, and then we'll stay in the mid 70s through next Tuesday with nighttime lows in the upper 40s. Enjoy it while we got it, because I'm afraid May is going to come with some nice heat, and then the thunderstorm activity back in June.
Well, you little turd head. You didn't tell me it was your birthday. You didn't want us to make a big deal out of it, but you let it slip, didn't you?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Why not?
Birthday,
You rascal.
Austin. Yeah, Austin Stevens. Happy early birthday. His birthday, as he said, is on Sunday, and we wish him nothing but the best. But do you have plans? Do you have plans? Is Mama going to take you out to eat somewhere?
I may confirm or deny what will happen, because it is
Okay.
the 21st.
Oh, I see. Mama, you got some plans, don't you?
Taking him to Universal Wednesday.
Taking him to Universal tomorrow?
No, Wednesday.
Oh, the
Next
following
week.
Wednesday. Okay.
Yeah.
So Universal on the following Wednesday. That's awesome. And mom, sure mom has a surprise for you too, old Sadie. But happy birthday, young man.
Birthday, man.
You deserve it, buddy. I tell you, you do a lot of stuff for us, and we appreciate the weather and the YouTube stuff that you do for us. Thank you very much, Austin.
Of course, I have to keep the show on the rails.
Well, you have to keep the show on the YouTube side because there's people that don't have Facebook, believe it or not. That's
Speaking
just
of
the way
that,
it is.
speaking of that, we've been having delays on YouTube side. That is my fault. Been busy with personal stuff and getting ready for the hurricane season, gearing up things and moving equipment around, getting on web servers upgraded and doing internal equipment upgrades.
Okay.
But we are caught up.
Nice.
So this show will be up tomorrow.
It sounds good. Thank you very much, Austin. And we'll come back with that weather report here later in the program. Sharon Petterprin's on the model. Better late than never. Good evening, guys. Good evening to you as well, Byron. Good evening, Ms. Sharon Petterprin, right?
Yeah, good evening.
Yeah, absolutely. And Shirley Bagwell said it's also Shelley's birthday, which is the 29th, and Mitchell's is the 21st. So, happy birthday, Mitchell Gunner. Happy birthday, Austin Stevens. Happy birthday, Shelley Rogers. Happy birthday to my friend Matt Eunice. There is a lot of April birthdays, brother. That yours too, right?
No, her sister,
Oh, your sister. Happy birthday, her name.
Nicole.
Happy birthday, Nicole. I don't know if you watch a show or if you watch a brother do, but anyway, happy birthday to you as well. So a lot of April birthdays, buddy. I tell you.
Before we get
No,
into
we're not fools.
Yeah.
Before we get into this,
Yeah.
I need to say a little bit of something.
Okay.
Oh,
And it's not going to take real long. I'm not going to be long-winded about it. Today is April 18th. Do your taxes if you have not done them. This is the
Absolutely.
last day, 12 o'clock tonight is the deadline.
Unless you've got an extension.
Well, you can go without filing your taxes for 3
years,
For 3
right.
years, but then what happens is when you finally do file them, the IRS is more likely to audit you for the last
Yes.
25.
Yes. Absolutely correct, Byron. Just a couple of more quick things on the local, and then we'll move on. Wednesday night team trivia over at Fun Point. Michael Heater hosts that. I'm not sure. Did Mr. Felder do it last week? I can't even remember. But he was supposed to do it last week. But I think it's going to be Michael this week because he's at a concert tonight. Fun Point, 7 o'clock, team trivia. And then on Thursday night, over at the DTG, the Downtown Grill, with your host David Rodgers at 7:30, right there in the room, the dining room area now is what we call it. We've been having it in there. Byron, you heard last week, I took the poll. Everybody seemed to pretty like it. It was sort of even, but everybody seemed to like it in that dining room area. I know your mom will comment on that. I know she likes it in there. It's a little more cozier with her, I think. And, you know, really, the wait staff comes in there quite frequently.
They
and
do just fine.
Yeah.
They're fine.
Absolutely, they are.
I mean,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter to me which place.
I don't care.
I like both of them.
I do too. I like both. I like the ambiance in the bar, Byron. Really, to be honest with you, I like when we're talking and you know the music's playing, and then somebody tries to shout the answer, and I say, "Hey, you can't do that." You know those kind of things there. That's what makes it enjoyable for me in there. But I'm okay either place. So anyway, that's that. All right, B, let's jump right. David, do you want to let's take a quick commercial break, or let's jump right into it?
Let's jump right into it.
Let's jump right into it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, again, I have my sidekick here, the Byron Bagwell, one of the most intelligent men I know when it comes to world politics, when it comes to U.S. government, when it comes to the Constitution, when it comes to the Declaration of Independence, all those things. The man here seems to know it. It's because he's read it and he memorizes it and he knows it. And he reads these type of books here. And anybody that does that, ladies and gentlemen, has got a leg up. I know, I'm giving you a lot here. But hey, it's got a leg up on people that don't really know. And that's what I'm trying to say. So we just want to educate you from our standpoint and the way he sees it. And you remember what I've said before, Byron, on this show. We take what we say, we give it to you. Then you take that and do fit. Whatever you want to do with it. You can believe it, you can throw it in the trash, you can follow it, you can research it. It's up to you. We're just giving you some information that we feel that we think is right and throwing it at you.
I try to give the truth.
And the truth, yes.
Is what I try to do. I try to give the truth of what is known about our government
Yep.
and our history, because there's truth, and then there is ideology, and the information I get is the truth about the subjects
Yes.
that I speak on.
No, that's correct.
And the majority of the writings that I read about our history and our government, guess where they come from? They don't come from our media.
Nope.
The majority of that comes directly out of the mouths of our founders. And that's the source you go to, if you can, with subjects like that. And there are documents that they left us saying their feelings on things. And that's where I try to draw things from.
Absolutely. And look, every 4th of July, Byron, or whatever date that is, the show date that is, it could be on the 4th of July, maybe. Well, you know what? It is the 4th of July, that Tuesday. But we've got we've got the Splash Bash. But I think that we ought to hold a show on Monday. What do you think? Can we do that?
Yeah.
Let's hold a show on Monday, because some of the most interesting things that I've ever heard this man say has come from the Declaration of Independence. And you're talking about choking up and just getting weak and just wowing, the wow factor. Let him go over that. Let him read that. That is amazing stuff.
There is about a 20-page article or a 15-page article in the National Archives that actually breaks down the Declaration of Independence from a very, very smart doctor. It's really, really good. And at one point, we read the Declaration of Independence, and I started going over some of that document of actually what this man says about what the Declaration of Independence means, and he didn't put spin on it. There's no spin on it. It just is what the Declaration means. You get a lot of people talking about Thomas Jefferson. Sorry, Thomas Jefferson is not what the media and what the left would believe you to make you believe who he actually is. First and foremost, long before there was a United States of America, he was in the Virginia Congress, which was a colony at that point. And the man introduced multiple bills to end slavery and never could end it.
Right.
Did he have slaves? Yes, he did. Because if you were a slave owner in Virginia at that time, guess what? You couldn't legally get rid of your slaves.
Right.
So when you start talking about Thomas Jefferson, you have to understand things like that. You have to also understand these stories about his mistress, who was a slave. He was not in the United States of America when the Constitution was ratified. He was in Paris, France. And guess who was walking around by his side? Nobody knows if this is true or not, but there was rumors saying that he actually married her while he was in France. Because she was always by his side. Openly in Paris. So there are some things about our history that are not known now, because guess what? They don't want you to know it. They want to spin it so you believe certain things about the men who actually founded this nation. Right. It's like they talk about there's not one mention of God in the Constitution.
Right.
Well, guess what? Madison's notes on the Constitution. Guess what they started every session with? They started with prayer to God Almighty.
Yep.
So it's not in the document, because guess what? It's a document that details how to work a government. And they believed that there should be a separation between church and state. Not like what people say that is now. They believe that the state should not, the government, that the church should not be the government. And they believe the government should not be the church. But the meaning of that is different than what we take it as now, because if you would have said somebody could not worship God inside of a government building, or mention God or Jesus inside of a government building, that might not be a pretty thing for you. Because guess what? Their families, a generation at least of their families, most of the time, left England, left France, left Germany, left Europe,
Right.
to basically escape religious persecution. So
Again, tune into that show because we're really going to break that down. Yes, on Monday,
I can
July
keep
3rd.
going with
Absolutely.
because it's just
Well, what it does is it makes sense, Byron. You can go from the founding fathers through where we're at right now, and you can talk about different things and how it's changed, and you can refer it all back to the Constitution or the Declaration of Independence. How many times have you done that?
a bunch.
A bunch.
We were talking about Thomas Jefferson.
Yep.
Here's a little crazy fact, and
Crazy bad.
by the way,
Crazy train.
I don't believe what the Confederate States of America were doing at all. I think they were wrong about what they did to break this union up. But here's a fun little fact. The general that everybody demonizes that was the leader of the Southern armies had no slaves before the Civil War started. The actual leader general of the Northern armies had slaves until after the Civil War. Ulysses S. Grant had slaves. We have a skewed view of history and really a skewed view of slavery too. So you go back and you start reading historical documents. It's really amazing what you'll find out. If you really want to know more about slavery, the gentleman that I gave you the quote of the night from, Thomas Sewell, has an absolutely great video talking about that. If you don't know, Thomas Sewell's a black man. He is a black college professor. Absolutely, utterly brilliant. Who is very eloquent in the way he talks. So, go listen to Thomas Sewell if you don't want to listen to me. That's just fine.
All right. Again, we'll do that July the 3rd. Absolutely, because July the 4th is a splash bash. I'm going to be involved with that. Mr. Holland may come help out. I'm hoping that Byron can come at some point, but never know with his job. And
we'll see what happens.
We'll have to see what happens. I want to go into something else really quick. But first, before I do that, so I don't close out the show without saying it, I try to say it all the time. Right here is called On the Spot Motorsports Media. Got the little logo there. Got this here on the back. This is a shirt that Mitchell Gunner got for me, and I'm going to wear it on the show. I forgot it. Anyway, his show comes on Thursdays at 7 o'clock. He is the host. That's why he's not here with us. I've had a lot of people say, hey, why ain't Mitchell here with you guys? Well, Mitchell's got his own thing, and he keeps busy with it. I assure you of that. That page, Byron,
is blowing up.
It's growing actually quicker than ours is, really, just because of the avenues and some of the things that he talks about. A lot of people, Byron, love motorsports, well, no matter what it is, and Mitchell gets into it all. Yes, he'll tell you he's an NHRA guy, and that he is. That's where he focuses his time. But I've seen stuff about NASCAR. I've seen stuff about Formula One. I've seen stuff about road races. I've seen it all, and he gets into it all, and that's why he's got a great product. On Thursday nights, you can catch Mitchell Gunner on the Spot Motorsports Media. If you're not a member, go to that page and hit like. We're LinkedIn. We're sister pages, and Mitchell Gunner will be having some special guests usually when he's on, and you'll be able to join in and ask questions yourselves.
Guys, I did want to say one thing about Mitchell Gunner. Mitchell Gunner knows this too. Mitchell is always welcome to come
Absolutely.
with us. We miss him. We miss him
Yeah.
sitting beside us. And he knows anytime he wants to come on, and he has the time to do it. The problem is now with his other show, he's
And the things that he's got going on, he does on the outside. The car shows that he does, the family
his
things.
family, the races
Yep.
that he runs. He's more than welcome to come, but Mitchell's got a busy life, so anytime he comes in, we're
No, you see me when you're not here, and if he comes in and stops by, I'll try to get him in on the show, just so because he is one of us. He is a brother.
Yeah.
We're the OTS brothers. We're the DOR. No matter if he's doing cars or if he's talking about local things going on, local government, he is still one of our brothers. And Mitchell, we give you a lot of props, man, because why? You deserve it. And we try to push as hard as we can, because we know that show can be successful. The only thing that we ask is you push us as well. Hey, every chance you can get to mention it, hey, we want fans, your fans, to take a look at our page if they haven't joined it, and come join us. But anyway, that's where we're at there before we get into this. Let's see here. Mitchell, hang on, let me go back here. Yep, Splash Bash meeting Wednesday at 5:30 at Fun Point. That's exactly right. Lisa Ann, how are you? Welcome in. Mitchell Gunner, we just got through talking about you, brother. Good afternoon. Gail Allen's watching. Randy Brooks. Byron Bagwell is watching. Rich Covey's watching. That's Manny Covey's dad.
Hey,
Rich, and we've seen some stuff on Facebook about Manny. I don't know if you've seen it. And that Cincinnati man uniform, man. He's running plays. He's working out, man. He looks good in that Cincinnati uniform, man.
Hey, let us know how Manny's doing with that.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah, because that was the nice little injury he had, brother. And everything I've seen, he seems to have pretty much fully recovered.
That's absolutely great news, man. I love to watch him.
Oh, my gosh.
He is such a good guy, too.
Hey, I tell you, between him and Jip Pringle, probably the fastest guys on the team last year. And I'll put some others up there, but two of the fastest guys right there. And I'll tell you, him and Pringle's fast.
Fat man, oh, Lord.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll let Rich chime in on that.
Yeah, I would love to see the two of them running.
Oh, I would too. I would too. Yeah, they're just.
I'd love to see any of those guys that tour in Brazil. I mean,
he's pretty quick.
Yeah,
I mean, Chase and Clark is
chasing. I'd love to see all of them get together and race. I bet they're close.
Yeah, I bet it's close.
But I bet Jip and Manny pulled away.
I bet they do too.
Speed, real wow.
Judith Young is watching. Hello, Judith. How are you? Mitchell Gunner says China has set up dozens of overseas police service stations in Europe and North America that reportedly act more like police stations used to monitor Chinese nationals. Interesting. Did you have something you want to say? Okay. Did you want to comment on that before we go into the other?
What is China doing in foreign nations?
Yes, thank you.
Are we just going to forget the sovereignty of nations? And it doesn't matter whether it's ours or anybody else's. Why is China being allowed to have police stations inside of foreign nations? That's not good.
No, it's not.
I mean, you've always had problems with that sort of thing coming from intelligence services coming out of consulates.
Right.
But a police station? No.
David, what time is it local? What time do we got local, brother?
We have.
Is it about 8:30?
8:20.
8:20. I want to get into this real quick, and then we're going to close the show down. I know Byron's had a long day. I've had a long day. I'm glad that y'all have tuned in. I'm David Rodgers, the Byron Bagwell, Mr. Dave Holland, Mr. Austin Stevens, and even his beautiful mother's here with us, Cheryl. And we're right here in the studio. Right here. If you don't know where the studio is, David, where's the studio? Tell them.
Well, if you come up 301 across from the Charlie John's Convention Center.
Hey! Yep, we're right there. Yeah. The old Florida Times Union building.
The old Florida Times Union building.
We're right here.
If you haven't ever been in there and would like to see what it looks like, come on by. We'll let you in.
How about that? Look at that, the producer and director of the show. What a nice guy there. Absolutely. All right. just want to go over a couple of things right here, and I want B to help me out. I'm going to let him have the final word on this. Just real quick, I know we're sitting there, and I want to be done in the next 20 minutes or so, or sooner. Do you want to talk about Ron DeSantis really quick, or do you want to table this off till next
Let's talk about Ron DeSantis.
Okay. Let's do it. That's a good point right here.
This is one of the things that I wanted to do.
Okay. Yeah, me too.
David, what are your feelings on Ron DeSantis throwing his name in the hat as for a presidential candidate?
Okay. Well, first and foremost, I think he's done a wonderful job here in the state of Florida. I think he's held his ground on a lot of things that he said. He's backed up a lot of things that he said. Correct me if I'm wrong on the age, Byron. Is he 48? Or is he 44, 45? What is he, Austin? Does anybody know?
I know he's
I know he's younger. He's 44, 45. And he just got reelected as this governor of this great state. And I think personally, I love him. How old is he?
44.
44. So the next time this comes up, he'll be 48, 49. Still a young man to run for president. I think he should stay as the governor of this great state, keep doing the job that he's doing for us Floridians, and then the next time pick up and run. Because if it's Trump that gets elected, he's not going to be able to run again, right?
No, Trump can't run again. He
so,
serve 2 terms. And it doesn't have to be consecutive.
No, he'd be the only other president to serve non-consecutive terms besides Grover Cleveland in our presidency. So I say, just me, and I love the guy, I think he needs to stay the governor of this great state of Florida for another 4 years. Byron?
I'm not going to disagree with you at all. That is
I thought we may disagree a little bit.
That is my exact opinion. And for some of those reasons that David said, but I have another reason for it. Ron DeSantis is a great statesman. He does what he says he's going to do from the people. And that is a very, very appealing thing. On the other hand, you have Donald Trump. And guess what Donald Trump has done? Exactly what he said he was going to do when he got into office. You have one younger politician and one older politician that could very easily run this country. One of them already has, and one of them is running the state of Florida. And they both ran the country well, and Ron DeSantis is running Florida really well. So what do you do during the primary? I can tell you what I'm going to do.
Yeah, I know what you're going to do.
I'm going to vote for the person that ran this country as well as he did. I don't like some of the things that some of the things that Donald Trump says and the way he acts. I just do not like them.
I don't either.
I think they can be funny, but I still don't like them. But I can tell you this. The results that man got and the condition this country was in for those 4 years is absolute nirvana compared to what we're living in now.
True, fully agree.
That can't be argued financially, or the stability of this country can't be argued either over that. Now, that being said, do I have a problem with Ron DeSantis? Would I vote for him for president if he was running against somebody else? Probably so. Mm-hmm. But I'm not voting for him against him with Donald Trump. See, this is going to cause an issue because these two people that have a following.
Yes, they do. Big following, by the way.
Big followings. Mm-hmm. And people understand that how both of them are. Well, what happens when Ron DeSantis throws his hat in? He loses the primary to Donald Trump. Now, all of those people that were following Ron DeSantis, did they jump on the Trump bandwagon because he's the Republican candidate and they know what he did? Or do they get pissed off at him and not vote for him?
And that is what I'm scared of right now.
See, we have issues on the Republican side with what I just said. Mm-hmm. The Democrats forget.
Byron, can
The
I call
Democrats
it?
forget
Can I
it. They
call?
don't. They don't.
Can I
they-
call it loyalty to the party?
Well, yes and no. The Democrats don't have a problem with that. They don't care who they put in office. If it's not a Republican, they're going to vote for it for the most part. Now, there are some people who are turning around now because of the way the country is from that. But as overall, coming out of a primary, you're going to find the great percentage of Democrats will vote for the Democrat candidate. What you'll find with the Republicans, that depends on what happens. Because if you have two candidates that are like Ron DeSantis and Donald Trump, and one of them, and you know Donald Trump likes to make people madder than fire, and he's going to go full bore at Ron DeSantis. And he's going to make people mad because he's gone full bore at Ron DeSantis.
Yep.
Including me, because there's no reason to do that with Ron DeSantis, unless it's something personal that we all don't know about. Okay, you're going to cause a rift, and when you cause a rift, bad things happen in the presidential election, like Joe Biden getting another 4 years.
Oh.
You need to think about that seriously, because this man does not need to be in office. This man does not need to hold an office for another 4 years, let alone the presidency. I'm sorry, the man has dementia at very least. He's not running the country now. That leaves me to believe who is running the country.
We know. We think we know.
Well, I can tell you who
yeah.
I can tell you who he's got around
him. Yeah.
And I can tell you where they came from. They came from the Barack Obama administration. Mm-hmm. If you don't think that they still don't have ties to Barack Obama, you're wrong. Yep. So, I mean, he wanted a second term anyway with Hillary Clinton, and he got it with Hillary Clinton.
Right.
Because they were exactly the same. But this is just as good, if not better, because guess what? This man doesn't know what a cat is. If you've listened to him talk, and some of the things he says, I don't know how anybody can support him. I mean, I am being honest with you.
No,
I'm being realistic. I'm not trying to be anti-Democrat or be a jerk or anything else.
Right.
I'm just saying, listen to what this man says. You're talking about the man that's running the most powerful, or supposed to be running the most powerful country in the world, and yet he can't remember his own name sometimes.
That's terrible.
It's unbelievable.
All right, and we'll continue that conversation on, as like Byron says, as this race heats up a little bit. We're going to continue to talk about this because I'm with Byron, and I didn't even think about the last statement that you said about them tearing each other down, because that's what's going to happen.
What's going to happen?
You're going, believe you me, political races get nasty. Y'all know it. We know it. We've seen it happen. They're going to try to find dirt on each other. Come on now. We know this.
You're not finding dirt on Donald Trump. The Democrats have been trying to do it for 8 years now. Right. You're not finding it.
I don't think you're going to find it on Ron DeSantis
You're
either.
not either. What you're seeing now is New York, which is famous for doing railroading people, which is exactly what they're doing to Donald Trump right now. He is going to get away from that.
Yeah.
I want Donald Trump in office for multiple reasons. Not only because he made the economy do this, but I guarantee you, I know how Donald Trump is. When he gets in that office, he's going to look at the TV screen and he's going to go, if you keep on messing with me, I'm declassifying everything.
Yep.
Everything.
Uh-oh.
Yep.
Oh, no.
Then he better sit in a glass box because somebody will kill him.
Right.
But I'm telling you, that's what Donald Trump's going to do.
All right, so let me read a couple of comments real quick, and then we'll move on to the last little thing that I had. It's a continuation from last week, and I'll be quickly about it. China controls all their citizens, even if they allow them to move to another country. Dwight Allen, he's got a good point. Absolutely, they're communists for sure. Absolutely. Mitchell Gunner says, I just want to let everyone know. I don't know if you knew this, Byron. I have a new laptop, which he has a new laptop for their live streaming events and podcasts. This should help with the quality of their streams, whether he works it with us, whether he does it for himself. He said that he's been lagging a little bit, Dave, and I have watched some of his shows. Even though they've been good, Byron, they have lagged a little more than what, and he'll lose service at times. And you told him what to do, and he went and did it, and it seems to be working perfectly now. Again, On the Spot Motorsports Media, Thursday night, 7 p.m. with Mitchell Gunner. Lisa Ann says, I fully agree with you, David. Thank you. I hope they don't tear each other down. Hope they keep it positive toward each other. Jimmy Langley from where? The Bahamas.
Jimmy, they're not. You can forget that. They don't like each other for some reason.
For some reason, I can't figure it out either.
Figure it out because there's so much alike. Not
Because they're too alike, that's why they.
not in so much the way they act, because Ron DeSantis acts completely different in public for the most part than Donald Trump does.
Right.
But there is something in between those two, and they're going to burn each other down. Is what they're going to do.
Mitchell.
I don't want to see that because they're both great.
Yeah, they are. Mitchell, going? He's been. Joe is going crazy. Let's change going to Ben. I'd rather have Ron finish his term as governor first. Dwight Allen agrees with us. He's been sick for many years, talking about Biden. I wish Trump would have exposed more D.C. criminals. Yeah.
I would be, honestly, if he gets reelected to president, I would honestly be surprised if he just doesn't go ahead and do it and turn it to the media without even saying anything.
Yeah, he may.
I mean, if you did that to me and my family, and the American public reelected me, I would be out for blood, and I would have the power to get it, and I would get it.
I don't know if Mom's saying good evening, gentlemen, again, or is she saying good night? I can't tell either. Can you?
No.
Mitchell Gunner says Joe wants a war so he can stay in office.
I would.
Yep. I wouldn't
trust him to run
a war.
He can't run his own household. How can he run a war?
Hey, this is the man, this is the administration that left $7 billion worth of military equipment in where? Afghanistan. Plus, as Byron said, how about the lost lives over there, too? Are you kidding me? Come on, man. Got to get a grasp on something here.
Look. Is your life better now, today?
That's it. That's the ultimate question.
4 years ago.
My answer to that, I'll tell everybody.
There's laughing from the background.
Yeah.
And that's the honest truth. If you can't see that your life is much worse today, you're not paying much more things, your family is not suffering because of what's going on with our politics right now and who's in office,
right,
then there's something wrong. You don't have to vote for a Republican, but vote for somebody else other than what's in office right now.
Yeah.
Because that is not working. And it's obvious that it's not working.
Right. Judith Young, they may not like each other, but I do believe they respect each other. Yes, I mean, no.
Yeah,
I think deep
they
inside,
probably they do respect each other because Ron's handled Florida really well, and Donald Trump handled the United States as well as any president has since Ronald Reagan. So, I mean...
Dave Holland Jr.,
so.
I'm glad you came on. I'm going to message you tomorrow. I need to get with you on a couple of things that I need to have done. So I'll message you tomorrow. I appreciate you hopping on. All right, last thing. I want to go over a subject we talked about last week, and that's the national debt. As of April 11th, it was 31, what, Byron?
Trillion.
There you go, $457 billion. $47,880,773, and like Byron says, it just keeps rolling. It rolls. So this week,
I don't want to know this.
no, believe it or not, Byron, I don't know what happened. Believe it or not, it actually went down a few dollars. It went down a few dollars. 31 billion, 457 billion, 31 trillion, 457 billion, 045 million, went down a couple of mil, $880,773. It's still an average for every American of $94,202.
Somebody is playing with those numbers. There is no way with what we're doing in our government that it went down at all.
Well,
it
look,
went up.
Yeah, well, and again, hey, those numbers are rolling. You know what I mean? It could be a glitch. Who knows? Anyway, that's what I see. All right. So, sort of the same as last week, we'll call it. But more.
Here's something else to scare you. Have you ever heard of the term unfunded liabilities?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Look up the term unfunded liabilities and then see if they played with that number with the unfunded liabilities, because I don't believe that's added into that.
Oh, no, absolutely not.
That's just...
But for every American, let's call it $94,000 is what we owe our government. Really? Okay. Byron, let me ask something, brother. Can I float a $94,000 loan, brother, from you?
They can't either.
That is exactly right.
They can't either.
They can't.
And guess what? It gets much more than this, and a whole lot of Americans start figuring it out. You know what they're going to do to our government? Something you don't want us to do to you.
Right.
Because $94,000 when you're born you owe to the government, that is slavery.
Mm-hmm. All right. And I told you, America's growing debt is a result of simple math. There's a mismatch between spending and revenues, and I'll get into that. This is simple math, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all should know this. When the federal government spends more than it takes in, we have to borrow money to cover that annual deficit. Every year, that deficit adds to the GNB, which is the growing national debt. Last week, Byron, I explained a little bit why this happens. I want to get into it a little more. There's three major drivers that affect the national debt. I'm going to give you a little economics lesson. Ronnie Harris, where are you? You're in the state of Alabama when I could use you here.
Mississippi.
Yeah, or is it Mississippi? Is that okay? Mississippi.
Yeah.
Outside of Hattiesburg, right?
Actually, yeah,
it's outside of Hattiesburg.
And I think he may be in Georgia, but that's... I can't remember seeing if he said he went home or not.
Okay. Anyway, it's affected by three major drivers. Number one on the list is demographics. Do you know what the term demographics is? Byron knows.
Oh my God. Are you kidding me?
Our society is aging as the large baby boomers are beginning to retire. Byron, listen to this number. Go ahead. No, go ahead. Are you guessing the
You want
number?
to stop this? You want to stop that first one, that demographics one, in its tracks? You go to your local, you go to your state politicians, and you go to your senators, and you go to your congresspeople, and you tell them to put Social Security and Medicare and Medicaid back in its own fund, and not be allowed to be played with like Johnson and the Democrats did when they put it in a general fund. That number disappears. It takes care of itself because people put into it every single work out of every single paycheck. There's no way our government should be allowed to do that, and it infuriates me.
And I was just getting, no, that's okay. And because I'm just getting to that. 10,000 people will turn 65, David, every day through the year 2029. Good gosh, are you absolutely kidding me?
It doesn't matter with the number of people that are inside of the United States of America.
It matters if it's put in the general fund, and that's what I'm going to get to you.
If it's put in a lockbox, it doesn't matter.
Right, but if it's put in the general fund, it does matter. And this is where I'm trying to tell you right now. All right. Give you a little background. More people live longer on average. These huge trends put increasing pressure on the federal budget. Of course it does.
If it's in a lockbox, it doesn't.
And benefits, as what Byron just said, Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid. If those were in their own lockbox, as Byron said,
sorry, I didn't mean to steal your thunder, David.
No,
you
didn't. No, you didn't. This is a great combination piece right here. This right here, ladies and gentlemen, like Byron said, if that was put in its own lockbox or its own place,
general fund,
this demographics wouldn't even be number one here. This wouldn't even exist.
It would exist, and about a quarter of that, if not half of that debt that we have, would be completely gone.
Right.
And I've got a perfect quote for you when you finish talking about what you're talking about.
By 2030, Byron, listen to this number. By 2030, David, we will have 73.1 to 2 million 65 and older people in the United States of America.
The system,
That's over a quarter of the United
First-
States.
first and foremost, the system was not set up to be permanent. And if you don't believe me, go back and look at the
Right.
legislation. Shouldn't exist now, period. But we're supposedly compassionate people. I don't believe that for 1 second coming from politicians.
Right.
They're not compassionate. That what they care about is they care about their own pocketbook and power.
I'll tell you how we can fix this, and me and Byron's talked about it many times. The Fair
Gallows-
Tax Act? How about the Fair Tax Act instead of the income tax? How about, we haven't even talked about that lately.
What, the gallows or the fair tax?
Well, either way. The Fair Tax.
I'm sorry.
The gallows.
That makes my blood boil when you start talking about that because my parents are in that age
Bracket
range,
right now.
and I am not that far away from it myself.
And me neither,
I'm
and
sure
Dave's
it's
there
going to be
too.
solvent, and because a bunch of politicians wanted the money in the general fund so they could play with it, it is now in this. Mm-hmm. You want the quote now, David?
Yes, please.
Oh boy.
The American Republic will only last as long as Congress does not figure out that it can bribe the American public with its own money. The quote came from a man, a French man, who was he was an economist, and what is the word for a person that studies government? I can't remember what that word is right now. He was French. When he learned what we did with our government, he basically just said exactly what's happening right there. Because what they're doing is they're taking our own money and bribing us with it and saying, oh, you have to pay your fair share because the taxes have got to go up because of this. Guess what? They don't make money.
No.
They take our money to pay for this stuff.
Right.
And they take more and more and more and more and more and more and more of it, and they look at us, you have to pay your fair share. The rich aren't paying their fair share, which is a load of bunk because the top 1% pay the majority of the taxes in the United States. And that is a fact you can actually look up.
All right.
Ooh.
Number 2 on the list. All right, here we go, Byron. Rising health care cost. Health care, Byron, represents, ladies and gentlemen, 1/5 of our entire economy, David. 1/5? Are you absolutely just kidding me?
Yes, that's true.
That is true.
That's true.
And the second fastest growing part of our budget. Okay, now hang on. U.S. health care system is the most expensive in the world. We spend twice as much on health care as other advanced nations do, and our health care is not near as equal to some of those that are paying less than us. Why is that? Byron has said it before, and Byron will probably add to this. Big-time pharmaceuticals, and I'm talking about the ones in the United States, are lacing their pockets with all this damn money right here. And I'm telling you right now, and what else, Byron? I'm forgetting something else. I've got to give you some more numbers.
What big-time pharmaceuticals are in the United States anymore?
Well, that's true. But they're still funneling money, I guess, with pharmaceuticals on the outside. That is U.S. owned.
Right, here is the answer to this whole entire thing. And this is how you deregulate the pharmaceuticals and how you keep politicians out of your pocketbook when it comes to your health care. Tell the government it's none of their damn business anymore.
Yep.
Period.
All right.
It shouldn't have been. It wasn't originally. Healthcare's not a right. Healthcare's a privilege. And back when it was a privilege, guess what? It was more affordable. And you had things like doctors that would actually come to your house. Paid them $4 or $5 back then. Come to your house, they diagnose it. Pay $1 or $2 for a prescription. That's better.
Hey, you know who did that? You know what show I watched that does that? My buddy Doc on Gunsmoke. Remember, you come out there to your house, give him a couple of bucks. That's my buddy Doc. Doc Adams.
Stark used to have doctors.
Of course they did. I'm just
come
using that.
Come to your house. It's just the government. Anything the government touches, with the exception of anything that requires force like wars, it is not good at, and it most certainly is not good at health care.
No, because I'm going to tell you. Let me just give you some numbers of some nations really quick. South Korea, 39-14. Japan, 46-66. These are numbers per person, okay? UK, 53-87. Getting a pattern here. Belgium, 54-07. Australia, 56-27. Canada, 59-05. All right, we get to France a little bit. Jumps up a little bit. 61-15. Sweden, 62-62. Netherlands, 67-53. Austria, 66-93. Switzerland, 71-79. Germany, 73-83. And Byron's already seen it. I can see him getting red in the face. The United States, David, make sure you get this number in your head, spends $12,318 per person on health care. That's double some of these and triple on some of them.
Now, I have a question for you.
Okay.
Have you ever had the government pay for your health care from your work? Where is my $12,318?
Absolutely. Where is my $12,318? Where's yours?
It may be going to Medicare or Medicaid that's taken out of our paychecks, but let me ask you this question. If you are in your 40s or 50s, do you feel real secure that those are going to be solvent by the time you reach the age that you're supposed to get that? The answer should be no.
Big no. Let me write it down. No.
You better think again.
Where's
my money?
Where's my money? That's what I was getting at. Money. Your money. Your money. Your money, viewers. Your money. Ask for it. Right. $12,318. Write that down. Make sure you call your congressperson and tell them you want your $12,318 in your account by next week. All right, we'll see how that works. Hey, if people started doing that,
if 250 million Americans called them and said that, you want to talk about quaking in their boots?
All right, and the last thing.
And I tell you where it needs to come from. It needs to come from them and their families is where it needs to come from, because they're the ones that did this.
All right, and the last thing is real easy, real simple, is inadequate revenues. Everybody knows what that is. Total revenues that we spent in 2022 was $4.8 trillion. Our total revenues coming in. Total spendings, $6.27 trillion. That is called a deficit, ladies and gentlemen, by $2 trillion. What in the hell? And that's just a drop in the bucket.
That right there should never be a statistic wrapped up with this, because the government does not make money. They take money from us. They taxation is how they make their money. They do not make money any other way than taxing us.
All right, real quick, let's start
selling our land to China.
Thank you. Get ready, Austin, on the weather. We're going to shut the show down. Government checks haven't went out yet. Let's see how much it goes up on May the 1st, Dwight Allen. He says, I can give you $90,000, but that's it. Mitchell Gunner. Well, you're still going to owe the government a couple $4,000 from somewhere, and I ain't got it to give to you. Cheryl may. I don't know.
Sooner or later, people are going to start rebelling against that. That is ridiculous. When you are born, you owe that much money to the federal government.
Out there. Denny Ray Randolph, that's Roger's sister's watching. Hello, Denny Ray. You know Denny.
Hey, Denny.
Yeah, absolutely. Dwight Allen. Too many people collect without ever paying in a dime. Yeah.
Well.
John Garner from the state of Mississippi. One of my classmates, brother. Hey, say hello to John.
Hello, man.
I think he's in Pascagoula still. Him and his brother. Shirley says, why should we claim Medicare on our income tax when we have already paid it?
Why should we pay income tax at all? It's unconstitutional.
Dwight Allen answered her, abolish the income tax or replace it with the fair tax. I think that's what we said. There you go, brother.
Or how about we go back to doing what we were doing when the original Constitution was written? The federal government collects the money from the states. The states decide what they want to do. And if the states implement an income tax like the federal government has, guess what? We can move next door to a state that doesn't and don't have to pay that.
Pay that, right.
They can figure out other ways to do it.
Mitchell Gunner, but those monies are going to illegals and not to Americans. That is why the money is so low. We have an open border, and we are providing more help for them than we are for us.
I am more concerned about the Iranians and the Iraqis and the Syrians and the Chinese nationals and the Russians that are coming in that border that's that open than I am anybody from Mexico.
Yeah, I agree.
Anybody. Well, maybe with the exception of some of the cartels.
The big cartels,
but, I mean, who knows? They pick them up, they ship them out to different states. They lose, they get lost. Is there a correlation between all these plants that are blowing up and what's going on at the southern border?
Dwight Allen says, "Amen, brothers." He says, "Good night, fellow patriots. God bless America." Dave Holland Jr. says, "Taxation, isn't that theft?"
Without representation, it is.
Shirley's answered it. Look, taxation without representation. Yeah.
And those we're quickly not being represented, and that's the problem.
Those countries have closed borders, so they are not charging their citizens to make up the difference. Shirley says, "Why do we work so hard all our lives when we have to pay so much income tax?" Question, all the way down the thing.
I will talk to you
Hello.
about
Yes, we'll talk about that.
No. I will talk to you about that later off the air.
Yep.
Okay? Because there's an answer to fixing that. I talked to Dad about, but I don't think he really wants to do it because that's fixable.
Shannon Smith is watching. Hello, Shannon. How are you? Just coming in toward the end of the show. It's been a great show tonight, guys. Byron. Hey, Byron Stevens, come on in here. Austin, come on in here, man, and give us a good weather report. What do you think?
Stevens.
Yeah,
hey, it's not going to rain.
Did the squirrel go berserk?
It did in Pascagoula, Mississippi.
Oh, okay.
You got Joe Biden on your brain.
Yes, I did. Pulling a Joe Biden move.
I do not represent the comments of this broadcast, no.
You don't.
No,
I have to laugh. I about gave myself an aneurysm.
Me too. That's why I'm holding my head right now. I'm giving myself an aneurysm.
Sorry, brother. I was going to run you over tonight, but God almighty.
No, it was good, man.
That
Your red was in the face. Look at our faces, man.
That subject
Look at the redness in your face. Look at the redness in our face.
Man.
Oh, my eyes, man. Look at that. Oh,
We're
jeez.
going to
Anyway.
put these people out.
Well, give us some good news, Austin. How about a good weather report?
It's going to rain. Oh,
No, it's not.
No.
And I don't need it raining. Anyways, we're going to have to put these hooligans in a tent tonight to cool them off because their faces are all red over here. Upper 40s tonight will lead to mid-80s tomorrow, mostly sunny skies. Temperatures will gradually rise to the upper 80s with lower 60s at night. Rain will come in on Saturday at 50%, and it will probably rain on Byron's Parade. But back to you, David.
Back to you, Joe Biden. That's what you were going to call me, wasn't it? Yeah. Those are fighting words. Anyway, what a great show. Thank you, Austin.
All right. Here, if you want to throw it, then let's go back to Joe Biden and Kamala Harris.
Oh, no, we're not going back to that time.
Never mind. I'll stop that.
Yeah, we better. Hey, we're on a Facebook Live show. Tell us
Ask Willie Brown about her.
Well, yes, that's all we got to say.
Oh, next we're gonna have the three.
No, the YouTube. When will it be up?
Yes, as long as the three-letter companies don't come after us.
Okay.
What are they going to say?
What are they going to say?
I haven't said anything.
We haven't said anything wrong.
I just said.
When is YouTube going to be up?
The other one.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow by 7.
Should be.
Okay, should be. You heard it from the man himself. YouTube tomorrow by 7. Dave, final thoughts on anything?
Oh boy.
Man, you were intrigued. You was, hey, Austin was watching you, and you was looking at us like, wow.
I know, it totally took my mind off track.
I mean, that subject makes me so furious because
it does make me furious too. That's why I brought it back up.
It's not their money. And
that was the correlation.
It's ours.
Right, and that's the correlation that I wanted wanted you to know, and Byron beat me to the punch there a little bit, which is okay because it makes for a great deal, a great show. And he hit it right on the head. He was talking about those things, the Medicare, the Medicaid, the income, the Social Security, all that stuff. And really, like Byron said, we shouldn't be talking about none of this, really. Demographics, like he said, bullcrap. Rising healthcare costs. Why do we do that?
Be fixed.
It can be fixed.
That's
You're
not
right.
bullcrap.
That's
it is.
It's
a Ponzi
it
scheme.
is because we all have health care. And inadequate revenues. Come on, man. Hey, look.
I got your inadequate revenue. Put it in my house to try to get more.
Yeah. And look, don't spend more. I mean, then you take in. Ain't that simple math? No. Hey, look, okay. If I make $1,000 a week and my bills are $1,200 a week, is somebody not getting paid? My money's gone. And somebody's not getting paid their $200. I don't know what bill that is. Guess what that is? That's inadequate revenue.
David,
you see what I'm saying? It is.
I'm
spending. Well, I don't have enough to take care of what I need to take care of. My bills, I spent more than what I make. So it's inadequate revenue.
Just means next month you're going to have to
pay even more.
To pay more. Yep.
And here's the issue: if you or me or Dave or anybody else went to somebody and tried to get a loan like this and kept on and kept on and kept on, you may get away with it once, you may get away with it twice, but they're not going to keep giving you money that you can't pay back.
And each month, you're paying. You get to a point to where you're just working for them.
You're working for
them. Right,
slavery.
and that's exactly right. That's exactly right. Never getting ahead, and that's what this deficit is. Like Byron said, it's bullcrap to begin with, but this deficit is we're never getting ahead. More spending, more spending, more spending, more spending. Yeah. Print more money, print more money, print more money, print more money.
The value of the dollar.
The value of the dollar, that's correct. What is it being backed up with now? Byron, do you know? Is it silver? I don't even know. Have we used up all
Nobody's
those reserves?
audited the Federal Reserve in
years, right.
So we don't even know what's in places like Fort Knox anymore.
Right. We don't.
And that's ours, by the way. That's not theirs. That's
ours. That's right.
It's not, I mean, it's the federal government's, but at the same time, guess who funds the federal government? Us.
Where's our gold?
Oh, wait a minute. Uh-oh.
That is the answer to that. Where is our gold? Where's the silver? Where's the gold? And if you sold it and you didn't tell the American public, you should be held accountable for it.
Exactly right.
We need to be put back on the gold standard. Is what we need to be. It needs to happen, and they need to do exactly what Kennedy said he was going to do before he got assassinated, which is what caused him to get killed.
All right, we're on the 9 o'clock hour Eastern time right here in good old Stark, Florida. It's been a great show, man, but we got a lot of stuff, Byron, out there, from local to sports to national. We talked about Mitchell Gunner's show. We got a lot of great information out there. I love it when you're here, brother. I hope you can keep making it every week. We have to see what goes on, but hey, hopefully Byron can be here every week. Maybe I can call hospice for you and just tell them that you're not going to pay your income tax anymore, your Social Security and all that. Maybe they'll let you go.
They'll be fine with me.
That'll be fine by me.
Maybe I can come to the show. No, that won't be fine.
No, it can't. No, you got to have your job.
Listen, I do want to bring up one thing that's going to put a smile on my face and bring both of our blood pressures down. Have you seen who has the number 5 recruiting class in college football?
Yes, I have. Yes, I have.
5 recruiting class. And the 5-star tight end that they just got.
Yep. And you know the transfer portal's open. He's liable to get somebody else, and we're already loaded. Byron.
I can hear the chant.
Look,
I can hear it. I can hear it.
Oh, I can hear it too.
I can hear it. You know, a quiet night.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
In Doak Campbell
Stadium.
You can hear gators crying.
Oh man. Well, and look, man, we've had our down times, right? Look, everybody goes through them. Look, Florida's going to be lucky to win 5 games. I'm just saying. It just is what it is. He's having to rebuild that team.
Kind of like
to get his players in there. He does have a good recruiting class. I want to say they're still in the top 10. They're going to get the players. So it's just going to take him a couple of years, like it took Norvell to do what we've done now.
Give the man a chance. He's a good. He really is a good coach.
Don't he is.
Run him off like you did Ron Zook. But sorry.
Yeah, I loved Ron Zook, by the way.
Somebody should have taken the defensive coordinator's responsibility.
Yes, they sure should have.
He was a great recruiter and a great head coach.
Absolutely.
He should have never.
And by the way, Byron, let's put another smile on some people's faces. We got the number 4 ranked women's softball team too in the country too.
Oh,
them girls can play.
I can hear it.
You can hear it.
I can hear
Now our baseball team ain't doing so hot.
Well, that's unusual.
Yeah, Florida's baseball team is pretty damn good.
What happened with our baseball coach, man?
Mike Martin retired.
Right,
Then his son, remember, took it over. He just couldn't get anything in sync. So, Link Jarrett used to play baseball for Florida State back in the 90s.
Right.
So he come back. He was coaching Notre Dame. He took Notre Dame to the College World Series.
Right.
This is his first year. He's just got to get his players in there.
Get his players together.
He's got to get his players
together.
I thought they're not a bad ball club. Just they ain't winning like they should.
I thought our old coach's son was still there.
Yeah, no.
They got rid of him. Oh, well, that's sad.
All right. On behalf of the Byron Bagwell, the Dancing Destroyer, Dave Holland, our weather guru and YouTube man, Austin Stevens, also Mitchell Gunner. Don't forget to tune in to the show on Thursday night at 7 p.m. God bless you guys. I'm David Rodgers. God bless you guys. Enjoy the rest of your night. Enjoy the rest of the week and your weekend. And we'll see you next Tuesday night right here. Same bad time, same bad channel. Good night, guys. Enjoy.
Good night, everybody.